And since Joe Biden took office, we've had over 10 million migrants cross our southern border, most of them illegally, 90% of them released into the country. It's taking 2 to 3 years at minimum for these asylum cases to be heard. And you have cities like New York that have been inundated with nearly 200,000 migrants in just the last 2 years, costing the city and state billions of dollars in taxpayer money because of their disastrous sanctuary city policies and the right to shelter. And so for Joe Biden now to say, oh, we're looking at executive orders. I mean, look, I've introduced a bill defending borders, defending democracies that would reinstate Title 42. It would reinstate Remain in Mexico, and it would support our allies. And obviously, as we're seeing right now, Israel is under threat by Iran, which has funded and backed Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, every step of the way. And so it is critically important that we move not only to secure our own border and stop this massive influx of migrants, but defend our allies and help them in their time of need.
You know, you're talking also about the funding for migrants. I was astounded. I just saw this, that Denver is essentially defunding their police, and they're putting it's $8.4 million towards the migrants. Congressman, your reaction to that?
Well, it's even worse in New York. Kathy Hochul, the disastrous governor of the state of New York, proposed to cut state school aid so that she could fund $2.4 billion for illegal immigrants in New York City. This is what's happening all over the country because of the disastrous open borders policies of the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. We can stop this today if Joe Biden would take action. He should reverse what he reversed on day one and bring back the policies under President Trump that actually work to reduce the number of border crossings. We were down below 400,000. We're now nearly over 3 million a year because of Joe Biden's disastrous open border policies and the sanctuary city policies of New York.
Well, you know, I have to ask you because after being grilled in 2 separate hearings on Wednesday, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, he actually admitted there's a crisis. You got to watch this moment. My jaw dropped when I finally saw it.
I do understand the challenges at the border, and I certainly don't dance around them. As a matter of fact,
would you call it a crisis at the southern border?
Yes, I would. And as a matter of fact, I work every single day with the men and women in the Department of Homeland Security to only strengthen the security of our southern border as well as the northern border.
Congressman, he dances around it. He does the waltz, he does the tango, he's done every single dance I've seen. And now finally, he's on the cusp of the impeachment articles being walked over from your chamber over to the Senate. And now he realizes it's a crisis.
Yeah, the dance he needs to be doing is moonwalking right out of office. He is an absolute disaster from day one. He has failed in his obligations to uphold the Constitution and to enforce our immigration laws. And it's why we have the crisis that we do at our southern border. 10 million migrants on his watch. It's why I voted to impeach him. The Senate should take up these articles of impeachment and have a full hearing on them because he has failed miserably in his responsibilities. He has lied before Congress on numerous occasions. You can call it tap dancing, but the reality is he has failed in his duties to uphold the Constitution and enforce our immigration laws. He's got to go, along with Joe Biden in November.